Where's my pen? Alright, guys. Because I watched them win when I was in Miami. Is this hockey, right? Oilers and Panthers is hockey? I think, anyway. Yeah. Alright, let's get some analysis in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. Boom. Boom. There we go. No. By the way, Roman said you're an idiot. He never changed his number. Wait, do I have Gabe's? Hold on. Do I even have his number? Hold on. I don't even have his number anyway. Oh? Oh, well, there you go. Okay, hold on. Let me quickly sort this out. I don't know why it's doing that. Dear. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Dearie me. Alright, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Let me duplicate this. Oh, let me add another source. Okay. This. And then I want to do this. And this. And then I want to make it. Wait, why is it not working? Hold on. Bear with me, stream. Ah! Stream. We back. There we go. Alright. So, when I watch this, what am I looking at? Okay, I'm looking at P1 flow. I'm looking at what lanes they're filling in first. I'm looking at the teamwork aspect. I'm looking at how they react to situations here. Right, my ranked play homies. Let's see how are we going to fill with the team. That's a good break from Paco. I think this is such a good play from Paco. Right here. My monitor has died. Are we back? I think this is a really good break from Paco right here. The fact that it takes one person right here, Paco's being so annoying, he's going to play the kill, and then he's going to just buy time. He's going to buy time because 4, 3, and 2 can't reliably play hill because Paco is already here. And then they have to watch out for these guys here. They're in a position here where they don't know exactly where LAT is spawning here. They don't know if 4 is going to be hard blocking or not. It's like one of them situations where it's like you're hesitating. It's like, I think they've spawned Bo, or I think they've spawned P2. Obviously, usually the side that you have the least amount of people past the 50-yard line is the side that they're going to spawn, unless you're hard blocking. So right here, 3's like, well, where's Paco going to be? And look how messy this is. Now look at 3. But then 8's in a position to then trade. So Paco basically set up the rebreak here by understanding like the value of his life. And then 30 seconds. Let's see how they refill based on the info. He's spawning lobby. 6 is picking up the left. 7's taking Charles with 5. So this is really good for them. So they're playing the wave. 30 seconds left. They have time. They're just doing something together, and then one guy's playing the left just to deny anyone pushing through. So this is what we call the fill order. What lanes do you need to pick up first, conducive to whatever going on the map and the objectives. So now 1 is potentially going to spawn them out. Yep, so 1 is in a position to spawn them out. He's calling this out. This is very mixy, a very messy P1 here. 4 spawns P. Bro, why is my monitor doing that? My monitor's just switching on and off here. No idea why it's done that. That's very annoying. Okay, so now right here, Miami have spawned in, 15 seconds left. They spawn P2, so he's probably calling out someone's either gone through secret or gone through well. But then once Metals is killing that, they realize, okay, 15 seconds left, let's play ahead. They're going to pick up the lanes based on where they think they're spawning, and they'll just fill in appropriately. So you'll see it right here. Number 3 gets a lobby spawn, which means this is what we call a no map progression spawn, because either the hill is white and or LAT don't have any map control towards the time, like pushed out that side. So when you get the closest spawn on somebody, it's either because it's white or it's a no map progression spawn. So they recognize this, so now they're going to be playing ahead. So now he's in a position where he's going to make sure he's safety net in the back, so then when P2 does pop and they are pushed past the 50-yard line, they're in a position where they can keep the game organized. He's basically the safety net on this point. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it, okay. I'm LAT, I've spawned tin. What are the first routes that they're going to take? Well, the first route, they're going through secret, they're possibly going to play for old, and then they'll probably do maybe like a 2-2 for the first wave going into P2 here. Yep, so Dan's played old, and now they're going to hit through new. They're going to try and trade out new. Good job, 5 and 7 will play together. 7 will try and play and trade. Bit of a sticky situation. What's the perfect way to get to P2 spawned out? I think it's just entirely based on where you spawn. It's entirely based on whether you spawn either tin, mid, or boat. You should take the spawn that you're given, because the spawn that you get tells you where their furthest pressure is. And if you take the spawn that you're given and you run forward, you can almost make the guy who's pushed out basically useless, or you can have your third or fourth player off spawn dealing with it. So if you get a boat spawn as an example, it's because someone's usually pushed around here. Which means if you focus on taking a P2 route first and then refill right, you'll have more favorable timing. You're playing where they're soft, essentially. And same with tin. You don't want to be in a situation where you're spawning tin and your first guy's doing this. You don't have the timing to do so because it takes a lot of time to do, and enemy teams are going to predict and read it in the moment. Ideally, if you say, let's say you spawn here because P2 pops, dependent on the wave, teams have 2 options. Teams can either 3-man hit front and send one guy lobby to catch anyone shifting. Reason for this is if this is the first wave, teams will probably have like this sort of a setup, right? If you take your mass front and then you have someone, the first guy lobby, so your first guy off spawn is playing lobby, he is distracting this guy, he is distracting this guy, and then 3 of you, 2, 3, and 4 hit the front. It's a 3 versus 2 in hill, and this guy is catching anyone shifting. So then they can't then reinforce time. But it's the understanding that, okay, if you do manage to break, if you are not fast enough to push, they'll either spawn here, here, or here. Based on that. Or what you can do, which is what a lot of teams do, is if you spawn here or if you spawn in tin while P1 is up, you can do a 2-2. First 2 people want to take their timings through well, and then the next 2 people can take the last 2 people can then go lobby. You want to make sure you try and get out towards the truck because of how sticky the P2 spawns are. You're playing to trade here, you're playing to trade here, and then the guy's lobby will catch anyone shifting here and then bang out time. Essentially how you want to do it. What about if they spawn boat side, go all the way well? No. If you spawn boat, take the spawn you're given, just bang hill. You have favorable timings to do so. Make sure you are stacking out towards hill. If you're spawning here, there is very little point in doing this. Very little, because of how long it takes. Keep the game simple. You're spawning here for a reason. Use it, because this is the normal spawn, this one. If there's no map progression, if nobody's pushed out mid, or nobody's basically banging through here, then you're not going to get a deep spawn. So you're only getting a deep spawn because of a reason. So I like Miami here, how they play it. If you child together. Very good from Paco here. Paco's just playing to die, set his teammates up. I just want to highlight how important this is. So I know they're in a 3 versus 1, but one of the biggest differences, so there's 2 big differences here between challengers and the CDL. First of all, Envoy's taking a route pulled out an AR to then play for the back spawns, which is then going to make the game efficient. Every kill that they're going to get, they're spawning out. This is efficiency. This is the old patch, yeah. Back rock steps, no, they don't. No, usually the spawn you'll get is here. If somebody is pinching like this, depending on how far they're pinching, you might get like a this spawn or maybe like this spawn here, based on like how far they are. If they're in depths and they're blocking both, you can even get a garden spawn, but that's like super rare. But I want to highlight in this situation here, Envoy's playing to block this, and he's blocking wall spawns. And then Paco's the first guy in this particular flow, in this setup. He is one shot, but he's still throwing his life away to set up the kills for 8 and 5. 2 is tweaking. 2 doesn't know what to do because Paco's keeping him honest. So look at that, even though he dies, 8 and 5 are in position to trade, 2 doesn't know what to do. And right here, trust the flow. Look at where 5 is. Right here, if he pushes any further, he would have spawned him super deep. So now they're just going to help each other. That's actually a really good break from Miami. Honestly, really good break.
Down a super all alone, and he has gone down instantly. So all that rotation for nothing. Hydra is soaring in flying. How about that?
Maybe the only thing that I could probably say is in this situation where Ernie's pushed out, if he doesn't see anything, bump across to where the pressure is. Like, yeah, sure, number 2 could take like a late route, whatever, but in this situation, I feel like he gets across, he plays to watch his Zig, or like he can play Lambos and bump 8 out Zig, so then they've got a crossfire going on. Just reading where the pressure is during this wave. It's just another display source, just a duplicate. Pushing from well because they want to secure wall spawn. Yeah, because it's favorable. They can take the time to do it. And notice it's normally the first guys who are taking that route. General rule of thumb is you want your first guy to take a long route. You don't want it to be your last guy or your third guy. Ideally the first guy, because his timing will be favorable. So look at it here. Number 4 is the first guy. He's the one that's taking the route because his timing will be favorable compared to 301. Then I want to also highlight as well. So the first guy's taking the route. The second guy's hugging his nuts. So they know what the game plan is if they're going to do a 2-2. They're playing together. 4 is sliding to the well, dragging the aim assist of 7, and then the guy behind him is taking that chow. That's like textbook how you work this towards the back. And now they can just push together if they're needed, and 1 and 2 can just ape. Now 2 is worried about 5 hitting the repinch, which is valid, but they can be super quick here. So they won't have a timing to block 7 unless 1 is super fast, gets to here. If 1 gets to like around here, it blocks these 2, right? And if 2's with him, 2 can watch this, 1 can play this. I mean, it's hindsighty, because you don't know. 8 could very well be here. 5 could be bumping across, right, as we talked about. And look, they don't have the timing to block 7, so now they're layering. This is LAT layering. And my monitor has gone off again. Don't know why it's done that. Right, there we go. Be back. Which is very... This is a form, this is what we call layering. Layering gives you another life to spawn where you want to spawn in order to then trade. So now they know exactly where the pressure's coming from. Like, yeah, nitpicking, you could bump 8 out if you wanted, but obviously 5 is worried about someone late pinch in front. And that's why minimap perspective is very hindsight sometimes. And then 6 spawns here, and he's like, alright, if 6 is spawning here, that means there's nobody pushed out. Essentially, like, this way. Past this. So nothing lobby, nothing's, pushed out front. So on and so forth.
Guns up, Ghosty suppressed. Pressure on, Metals finds 2 somehow, and you are in Heretics, 20 to go. Yeah, that's an important break as well, just to sort of stabilize. And you
Nice. Now 2 and 4 need to do something together. This is what we call aping. So now they're in a situation where they have 14 seconds left. LAT need to rotate. So when you rotate and you have scrap time, you are in a disadvantage. You are in a 4v3. So all you need to do is force a trade. Force a kill. If you force a kill, you can either give them bad spawns or force parallels, as long as you're pushing up. So what you'll see teams do now at the highest level is when they rotate, they have a general idea of where they want to control. They're predicting, obviously, where LAT is spawning, predicting what setup that they could have and what space that they have. If you force a trade together, you can then force parallels and then make it harder for the enemy to get a full setup.
You need to make sure you get some.
So you look at it, this is what the elite teams do. So look at Miami here. These two are going to hug nuts. Whatever you are doing, you do together. You force a trade and you force kills. Then you get in situations like this. Depending on the timing of the kills, they got this kill first, which means he spawns back because of them pushing out. And then because he spawns that, he's blocking. They then counter blocking this side, which then forces him to spawn well. So now you just keep holding hands, and this is why this is good from them. Now they're just going to keep holding hands. This is kill efficiency right here. This is forcing trades to spawn people out to then understand what routes they're going to be taking. Coming off spawn with 4 seconds left for the hill. Now you use process of elimination to set yourself up. And now he's in a position where he has well entirely cut, because he knows exactly where they're spawning. He's trusting his teammates to get this pick, because it's a 2 versus 1, and he's going to play 1 step ahead right here. Now this was a good rotation from them, because now they know exactly where LAT are coming from. And now they can play the wave, because now they have good positions, and let LAT come to them. And then they can predict where they're going to spawn based on the wave after. Very good. See with metals, this is a concept that pro teams do very well. Is once you're in good positions, meaning once you know what lane you want to focus on based on where the enemies are spawning, based on your order in the what we call the flow. Once you are picking up the lane, this is a good spot. You let the game come to you. They have to run through choke points. Same again here, and he's going to fill in where required. So they're reading that they've spawned back garden because of the timing, right? They're probably thinking, oh, P3 has just popped, therefore they're going to spawn in the back. So that's why them two, he's then trying to recut in case they've spawned here, and he's playing the info. But good teams, when they have good positions, and they've made a multitude of kills, you know exactly where they're spawning. Whatever lane is open, whatever gap you have, that is your priority to be watching, and that's how you bounce information off each other. That's how then you use teamwork, and that's how you make the game favorable for you. Because then LAT have to clear everything. There is so much that they have to clear just to get to the time, and the entire time that LAT are clearing, Miami are going to be soaking. So if you let the game come to you, you're playing hide and seek, you are responsible for one lane, you pick up basically a lane each that you think is open, and then you help each other based on where the information is coming from. Same thing in ranked. When you guys are playing ranked, look at your minimap, understand what lanes are open, have an idea of where they're spawning. When you have an idea of where they're spawning, you have an idea of what routes they're taking. When you have an idea of what routes they're taking, you have an understanding of how long it takes for them to take a certain route, and then you just basically playing your lane. Right here, Metals has got his one. He doesn't see anything else. He's not going to keep continuing to hold this well push, because he realizes, okay, it takes a certain amount of time to hit well. It's too long. It takes maybe, I don't know, 5, let's give it a number. Let's say 5 seconds if they come off spawn to hit well. He doesn't see anything else well. He knows, okay, the timing isn't there. They're going to be taking other routes. This is how you use process of elimination when you play. If they're not here, bet they're taking too long. Right, they're going to be taking other routes. And then it's onto him, and onto him, then to bounce info off each other. You can do that. You can do that in rank 2. So now Metals is giving it up because he's like, right, I don't see anything here because it takes a certain amount of time for LAT to come off spawn to hit that. I think they're going to be taking another route. And now he's going to try and play a good spot to try and guarantee kills. It's not all about the high flashy kills and slides and whatever. It's about understanding where can they come from, using process of elimination to figure out where they're going to be, and then playing your kills. Then you can use your talent. Like right here. Let the game come to you. Look at number 3. Not the most glamorous of playstyles, but he's eliminating them basically taking this route. And he's just trying to play information, and the entire time you let the game come to you, play your kills, then you go. Very wave by wave, very chess-like. Now look at him filling in. Fill in whatever's open. Look at 3 getting a free kill. Now once 3 gets a free kill, it's now a 4 versus 3 in that wave, right? So all they theoretically need to do is go 1 for 1 towards the time. And then you'll see number 1 refilling towards time. Again, because you're trying to go 1 for 1 in the trades to then secure the last 30 seconds. And now you know exactly where they're spawning, right? So then if you know exactly where they're spawning, you guys in ranked, you understand what routes they can take. When you understand what routes they can take, you know the timings of the routes. But then you keep it simple, keep it stupid simple, play the 4v3 and just make sure you're trading towards time. It's as simple as that. And he's going to refill. Them two are going to help each other to kill 8. This is how we then 2v1 someone. This is then how we use micro teamwork. This is micro teamwork right here. To then ape this guy. Number 4 is going to play for his one. He doesn't know where they are exactly, but he knows they're in this general area. He's then going to get info, and once they kill 8, they just trade. Refill through time. It's as simple as that. Trading towards time. Simple as that. There you go. There you go. Now they get a 4 down. When there's 30 seconds left in a 4 down, you know exactly where they're going to spawn, right? Potential to spawn either side based on what he's doing, right? So then you know exactly what routes they're going to take. Same again, is you get into good positions. Good positions meaning certain spots on the hill where you can play your 1, you can play your guarantee. How to become COD Pro? Keep watching, Fiddle. Keep watching. Keep watching. Get your notepad out. You're in the locker room. So then, now you know exactly where they're spawning, which means you know exactly what routes they're going to take. You know the order of operation. You know he's the first guy off spawn and he's the last guy off spawn. Once you understand and you have a conscience in your mind who you've killed and when you've killed, it gives you an idea on timings of where people are going to be, right? To give you an understanding, let's say all 4 players spawn well. If the last guy is seen here, that means all 3 other players are taking different routes, right? So this is how you use timings, and this is how you use process of elimination, because timings are essentially what are the quickest routes enemies are going to take off spawn to get into a gunfight with you. You can then use process of elimination to determine where they are and if you can get space. So right here, 4 down, play good spots on these hills to guarantee your 1. You just need to get the first kill. Play good spots that are going to guarantee your first kill based on where they're going, and let the game come to you. Because LAT, it's on LAT to now clear everything. So let's see how it plays out here. Boom. There you go. This is a good spot. This is Renko getting the first kill of this wave. And now they have to take routes. Obviously you can nitpick it further. So he's probably thinking, right? Boom. Let's say who's the first guy. Envoy, Ghosty, Paco's scrap, right? So right here, he knows Envoy's the first guy. The first guy has pushed through. He's just killed him, right? This is good. Now you're in a 4 versus 3. To nitpick this slightly, let the game come to you, because he's the first guy. He's the first guy. There is no need for him to give up this power position to then insta-shift here. That's a kill Hori play, right? The only way if Renko shifts over to pick up lobby is even acceptable is, let's say he gets Hydra, and Hydra's the 3rd guy. If Paco's the 3rd guy coming out like this, that means the first 2 guys are already here. right? This is what we call timings and order of operations right here, right? Order of kills. But right here, because Envoy's the first guy, he should keep holding this, and he's in a power position to get information here on both sides. So 3 trust 2, 4 can bounce off 3, and 1 can just keep the game organized and keep blocking. And this is how we then use teamwork, and this is how we then use let the game come to you. Soak the last 27 seconds. When it gets to this next wave of kills, then you can start rotating for new. Right? Very, very wave by wave. So right here, just keep holding. In my opinion. Now he gets bad timing because Scrap decides to hit it. Now you could argue, okay, maybe 4 should be playing for it, but look at the spawns that 7 gets based on him being aggressive. If 3 is here, 7 will spawn slightly bit back while we have it blocked here. Which, obviously, it seems like very nitpicky, to be honest with you, but at the highest level, them getting the last 20 seconds could mean the difference between winning or losing at the end of the game, right? So every second counts, especially when you're in an advantageous situation. And now LAT have gone from basically losing 25 to look at them sponging 16, 17 seconds, which is good from them.
You're battling for 8 seconds, and in the meantime, Super the One on rotation catches a ghosty.
Nice, good rotation here. Good job, Paco.
Like
Paco's just taking all kinds of Charles. He's feeling it, and again, refill through time. 7's the last guy in the pinch, in the flow, so he's going to pick up pinch. And these guys are going to take Charles wherever the info is. They're letting the game come to them. So I really need to emphasize how important it is letting the game come to you, right? 58 seconds, right? Paco's just got a 2-y. Then last guy's going to be picking up pinch. They know the 3rd guy's here, and they'll know the 4th guy's here eventually, right? Right? So, look at the time, and you let the game come to you. This has taken Miami 12 seconds to even get into 1 gunfight. 12 seconds of soaking to even get into 1 gunfight. And they're at a disadvantage. So it's taken them 12 seconds to set up a break, and they're now 2 for 1. So theoretically, they could just keep continuing to trade, get them spawning here, and then play another wave. This is how you let the game come to you once you're in good positions. Sometimes people think you need to go be Superman and get a World Star 2-piece, whatever. Only if you have the timing to do so, only if you know it's a clean wave, can you then get a free life. But right here, they're respecting the timings and the space that the enemies have. Play the wave, let the game come to you, then you can use your free life. Right here.
Here we go. Hydra in the front door. Perfect trades. Wait a minute, Real. Wait a minute. Can't get the 3rd, but his teammates do.
So, but good break from them. But it doesn't matter. Like, they still soaked about 20 seconds. If they then win that wave, they soak another 20 seconds, and they've got 40 seconds off of Money Hill.
By Real as well. Make a little bit noise by Lambo. Group up their team, and the trade's on point.
If you fight together.
From Lambo. Scrap strikes first. A hail of gunfire. Red Core finds a second.
Nice.
3. Can he get all 4? Up next, Thieves from Lambo. Scrap strikes first.
Let the game come to you, making them overextend. This is what we call making them OE, right? So this is also one of the biggest differences between challengers and pro teams. Is it's one of 2 things. Is if you chow, you chow together, right? If you chow together. You take the same fights, right? Or number 2, if you don't chow, you make them overextend. When you make them overextend, it opens up a micro timing for the guy outer to take Charles, or the guy who's flowing here to then take Charles. This is they have to clear everything. The onus is on LAT to clear everything. So it's either one of the 2, and they're the biggest differences between CDL teams and challenger teams is how you make them OE.
Red Core finds a second. 3. Can he get all 4? No, his teammates do. Heretics hold. Hey, good news for LA Thieves. They're playing together. Bad news. They are getting gunned down in a row. Ghosty 3 and 10, but it is a slow start down the line, and I don't think Rancor is giving them a choice in the matter. I mean, first
You just play your guarantees. Okay. Now they're going to spawn P2 here. We'll spawn ramp. He spawned deep ramp, so you know there's someone potentially going to be lobby. Now the onus is on Miami to break. Now they can just take their time breaking. When you have to break, you don't have to rush it. You just need to play kills. Game management. They're up by, 70 points, 80 points, right? This is game management. You can take your time on these breaks. When you break a hill, now it's on you guys to take creative routes. When you play a hill like P1, I'm telling you guys, the side of the hill you are on does not really matter. What you need to do is, based on the info you have in the moment, the timings you think you have in the moment, or the routes that you want to take based off your spawn, just play to kill them. Play to kill them, and then adapt after. Then worry about the spawns after. With P1 is such a scrappy hill, you do not want them to soak. You can make this as scrappy as possible. Miami are at a disadvantage. So, as long as Miami, their win condition here is by making P1 scrappy, at least, because LAT, potentially can soak this, then this is good game management for them, and then they can start playing ahead for you. So look at 4's route, look at 2. 2's not activating, 2's keeping 6 honest. So, the positions you play and the gunfights you chow set up your entire team. Right here, if this was diamond in ranked, this guy is trying to world star 6. This guy will try and world star 6. He's taking a disadvantageous gunfight. He'll die, and then 6 will then turn around to then trade 4 or trade 3. Right here, when 2 is staying alive, he's not taking the child. It's understanding the value of the position you are in and how impactful you are. You are keeping 6 honest. It opens up a timing for 4 to do something, because now it's a 1 versus 1. 3 now has a 1 versus 1. Number 2 is setting up his entire team for success right here. This is the most important thing for 2. This is why on breaks, valuing your lives is so important. 2 could keep sliding across. This is how you just set up a break. Just play your life. Look at this. Now 6 is tweaking about here. 3 is playing his life. This is fine from Miami, right? This is really good from Miami. They've gone from now a disadvantageous position to now we're filling in lanes we know are open. We know exactly where they're spawning. They've got both sides pushed out, so they'll spawn here. And then they can just let the game come to you. Same again. You don't have to play at this incredibly fast pace like people do in ranked. That's one of the differences. There we go. Look at Phil. So Phil order for you guys who play ranked is understanding what lanes you need to pick up in relation to your teammates and in relation to wherever the enemies are spawning. Right? Understanding what routes they could take and what lanes you need to fill up. So theoretically, look at 1 refilling in open based on where they think the pressure is coming from. Theoretically, in a stupid world, 1 could have gone like this, 1 could go like this, 1 could go like this, but like they're not conducive to the time. It's not conducive to where their teammates are, and it's not conducive to where they think the pressure is going to be. Trading towards time, especially with 35 seconds left. This is what I want you guys in rank to be doing. I see sometimes people spawn up like this and just go all the way back in 35 seconds. No, fill in the right lanes to help get kills and trades around the time. Play power spots around the time to help force trades. Play good spots. It's one of the biggest things. Understanding your positioning and understanding and predicting where the enemies are going to come from. Look at 4 refilling. Refilling open based on the info. He dies, but it's still a fill. I mean, Super's playing pretty good here. And then also for you guys in ranked, your positioning on the hill will also dictate where they're going to spawn, right? Spawn them here, if you're like here, for example. If you're here, you'll spawn them here. So it'll be diagonal to where you are in relation to the hill. That's very important to then understand where they're spawning, to then understand what routes they're taking and how long it'll take them to take a particular route. And then you're going to start predicting what they're going to do in the first wave. Easy enough. Look at 3 playing further well. So this is what we call filling in. So 2 has front info, filling in front. 1 is filling in lobby. 3 is filling in the left. Obviously now he's going to play the left. 3 can then give it up and push up based on wherever the pressure is coming from. Let the game come to you. So like you see 3 here. 3 is like, alright, 1 can get across. Like, nope. So as I've said, 1 is now keeping the safety net because he's pushed out front. 3 is in a position to crossfire. I need Metals to stay alive, and 4 is in a position where he has a free life. This guy, the reason why this guy has a free life, chat, is if he dies, he's just going to spawn close. He knows exactly what routes these guys are taking, who's taking what, and he can refill wherever is necessary based on where the pressure is coming from. Right here, Metals needs to stay alive, and what Metals is doing, fantastically, is if this was ranked would reach out. If this was diamond lobbies, platinum lobbies, that guy would reach out, end up dying, spawn in the back. No, he's playing his life to then allow LAT to push forward. Number 3 has the entire lobby information. Trust, look at your minimap, trust what you need to watch on your minimap based on your positioning and your teammates' positioning. Let the game come to you to then play your guarantee kills. Number 3 is playing his guarantee kill on 6. Guarantee kill meaning you have overwhelmingly favorable advantage when it comes to that gunfight. So right here, 3 is letting the game come to him. He's playing his guarantee. He's pre-aiming, playing his guarantee because he knows LAT have to clear all of this, go through, play his guarantee 1, and then his teammates can bounce off that.
Second here. More intel passed over. No one there to pick up the kills, but you've got eyes on all the entry points. Metals now.
And then look how they fill in based on where the info is. So now number 1 has filled in here. He has the info that someone's here. So 4 is going to play it. 3 is then going to play it. The reason why 3 is playing for well is because there's significant time on the clock. So this is the second wave. And second wave, they're predicting possibly someone could be taking a well route to flip and get the time. 1 doesn't see anything front. Process of elimination. If you don't see anything front, they're either taking mid or they're taking right. Game's not difficult. Easy enough for you guys in ranked.
You're going to take a couple more shots, but this is wonderful containment. Thieves unable to get close.
Now 3 has got the info, and now 2 is going to be ready to activate. They're going to spawn out because 6 has run through here. But it's fine, let the game come to you. They still have to clear everything. That's one of the biggest differences, again, as you're seeing here, between playing in ranked and playing against the pros. Number 2 is not doing too much. This is called doing your 25%. Understand you do not have to world star. Yeah, your solo queue teammates need to watch this. One of the biggest differences between the ranks when you go from diamond to iridescent, not to crimson, to iridescent, to top 250 is understanding what you need to do in the moment and not feeling like you have to do too much. If this was crimson or iridescent, number 2 is going to be sliding down and getting kills. The reason why number 2 doesn't do that is he's letting the game come to him. He understands LAT have multiple people in this lobby. When LAT have multiple people in his lobby and his teammate can't help him, he's not going to take a 1v3 gunfight and die. Right? And die. This is one of the biggest differences between ranked and pro players. Is number 2 could go down here. He might kill number 5, but he's going to get traded. He's going to get, he's chasing dope. He's doing too much. He's not doing his 25%. So, okay, bet. He's dead. He's dead. But now, 6 has spawned you out. 7 is playing here. 3 is going back. Enemies are going to spawn well. They now have the ability to then out-trade you on time because you are spawning in goddamn Africa. Right? So this is doing your 25%. So now Super is letting them, remember, they have to clear everything. They have to set up a push. He's letting the game come to him to then work with 3 and work with 1. This is one of the biggest differences in understanding how important your kill is. Right here, 2 could have killed 5, gone 1 for 1. Okay, nice. It looks good on the scoreboard. You got 21 kills. But now, the sequence of events that happen after is you not setting up your teammate because you've decided to overchill. Because now they're going to spawn here. God forbid he backs up completely, or here. Which now they're in an advantage to then break the time, and you're spawning out here. So now it's taking you even longer to get back to hill. So this is number 2 playing disciplined and setting his teammates up to help each other in the team fight.
Shooting is gone. Ghosty right now.
So right here, make him OE. Let the game come to you. This is what we call playing a guarantee. Playing a guarantee is ironing and playing a kill you know is overwhelmingly in your favor that they have to check. So right here is a good position. Playing your one, iron up. Now you're getting weak. Now you can tell. Look, he's still not chasing. This is very disciplined. Not chasing. If this was ranked, if this was Crimson or Iridescent, you know someone's chasing. Now the point that LAT break, they've got 15 seconds. Who cares, right? And now they're playing ahead. Now the key is, okay, now I know you spawn here. These are the routes you guys are going to be taking. Now they're going to fill based on that. When you're rotating, you want to pick the longest route possible. So they're going to be denying this first. Or, sorry, the quickest route to the hill. So they're going to be denying this first. Making sure nobody can just shortcut through to new. And then they're just going to fill around it. Then they're going to play info. He has well info. One guy has mid info. This guy will have left info. And last guy will probably play time. And if they get kills, they know they're going to spawn behind. And they'll just turn around. And then he will potentially repinch or block or whatever. Easy enough in the rotations. The key to the rotations is the first kill. You get the first kill on a rotation, you're spawning him out, then you can trade. So that's all it is discipline. So Metals will play the entire info. This is Metals playing a guarantee. He's going to try and guarantee his first kill. And as you see here, 3's got time, 2 is backing out, 4 will play. Right. So he's going to spawn here. That's fine. He's got info. Now he's going to refill wherever they think the information and the pressure is coming from. He's just seen 2 people mid. So he's going to refill to try and help mid. Either side. Based on Super. Maybe he might just do this to then take the same fight as Super. He's going to play info and he understands, okay, we know where 2 people are, but we don't know where the other 2 people are. They could be here. They could be here. So he's going to be playing his lane. That's his responsibility.
For a minute, but the map is not over, folks. To quote Nameless, you've got control now, and Super could cause real problems. Beautiful shots there. Into the first, the second man, no good.
Really good break from LAT. Notice LAT. Notice how whatever they're doing together. All that matters is trading. LAT are one of the best teams in the game when it comes to trading out and being efficient. Every kill that LAT get means something.
Folks, to quote Nameless, got control now.
Look at him, SEAL Team 6. 2 for 1. 3v2. Spawning well. 8 is cutting. He'll recognize one spawn in the back because he spawned hedges. Very good break from LAT. I mean, they should break this. Very good. And if you micro boom to their side of the hill, you block the closest spawn possible. You spawn them even deeper. But Heretics have a streak to then work with.
Expended, Thieves still got the fight. Bombs away. You get the contest. A couple of kills there would help, but that's going to be an open hard point for a second. Hydra hops right on in. Doesn't again get a huge amount for the Thieves. They're living off a scrap right now, and that is not enough to get them to the
Dan thinks he has the timing to then cut them to new. Good effort. I like the idea. Now, again, this is a vetty play. Look at this. Look at this. This is a fucking vetty play from Envoy, right? You can tell the discipline he has. If this is ranked, this guy's banging out. He's banging out trying to get Charles on his own. But let's dissect the situation for what it is, right? They have scrap time. So he's out of the play. So it's already a 4 versus 3. He's dead. It's already a 4 versus 2. This is what we call holding progression. He's holding progression to try and play for a scam. He's playing for a scam to make it at least a 3 versus 2. If they then spawn up Lambos, they can then bang out time. He is not wasting a life. He could easily bang. He's not going to 2v1 this. He understands he's not 2v1. He's got info here, info here. This is a vetty play. This is what we call setting up the next team push. Dylan is setting up the next team push for LAT. If they break this, it's because of Dill here. He's waiting for him to get into the play, and for any scams. And now he's playing his cred. He's playing his guarantee. So look at this here. Playing his guarantee. Gets his 1. Now look at it. He gets his 1. They ape. This is now a 2 versus 1 on time. About to be a 3 versus 1. These guys are going to be too slow to try and trade because now after they kill him, they'll have the power positions to take the Childs. Timings, guys, timings right here. Boom, 2 down. Now they have the power spots in the hill to take the fights and trade. This is all because of Envoy. Super gets a bailout 3, whatever, but the initial break itself was Envoy holding progression for the next wave to then allow his teammates into the play. Another difference between ranked and challengers and pro league is setting each other up. Envoy is setting his teammates up to then chow. Look at him, letting the game come to you. Let the game come to you because that's how you can then use teamwork. You get info and use teamwork. One of them has a free life if they wanted. Someone can go rogue if they wanted. But other than that, you let the game come to you. So Envoy's like, I don't see anything P2. They're spawning boat.
This is a battle, and Super is willing to be annoying. Not going to give the fight up. Looking at that rotation again, back over to P1, our third and final set here in map 1. And I love that play. This is why Envoy hates him. He's just willing to play his life, and he's swinging over the right side of the map. And by the time you find him, he's made the impact on the time. So Envoy's annoyed about it, but Super knows this is how you win the game. Yeah, looking for a few more seconds, trying to draw some aggression, and it's Envoy.
And then look at the fill from LAT. Look at the lanes that they fill in. 7 spawns well, so 6 is like, he could be, yep, perfect. Good filling. Nice. Now LAT are going to let the game come to them. Look at the lanes that they fill. You play hard on one side, soft on the other. They know they're going to spawn boat. 29 seconds left. You might see 7 start even get active on it. 5 might even get active on it to try and cut.
Even though they've been the best in the game on this.
Look at 7.
Now for Heretics though, you just want to stabilize. Don't pull an LAG. You just need a good
No. The fuck are you saying that for? Bro, why is he bringing that up? That's a bit fucking rude, wasn't it? That's a bit fucking rude.
Him and Super working together. That's a big win. That's enough to get you boys in time. This is it. Thieves.
Paco's pulled out a 30R. This is another example of understanding the situation you are in, understanding the flow, and pulling out an AR and doing someone else's job, right? Doing someone else's job. Again, in ranked, people won't spawn here and pull out a 30R. They won't do it. But look at your SMG, your fast-paced SMG pulling out a 30R just for this hill, and look at Scrap in the flow, the first guy being the one to slide for him. Understanding the situation in the moment and then taking charge. Look at Scrap here. He's going to fly for Paco. Taking the charge for Paco. Doesn't work, but you understand how from a flow perspective, it's just whoever's in the moment has got to do each other's jobs, each other's roles. Long gone are the days of anchoring and entry objective and slaying and blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. Alright, stream. Long day today. I'm out for the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a bit more ranked and for a bit more of the locker room. Make sure you guys follow the stream if you haven't. Make sure you follow Twitter if you haven't. Make sure you check my website for private coaching for teams, universities, whatever, if you guys want it. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys lurking. Appreciate the gifted as well. Ahmed, you absolute legend. Didn't expect that many. Have a really good evening. I'll see you guys later.